Hey guys, it's Dustin. Today is May the 5th. I apologize, it's been a little while since I made a video. I did actually make one a few days ago, but I haven't even put it on YouTube yet. Something pretty big and pretty difficult has come up in my life right now, so it's slowed down my YouTube videos a little bit. Of course, everything in here is still going full speed, but I haven't been documenting it so well. So I'm out here tonight, and the reason being, tomorrow is Saturday, and I should be going to a pigeon auction for a local club. It's not my club, it's another one, and I'll explain everything to you about how it works, because it's not just about buying birds. The birds are raced in a special race, and there's prize money and stuff like that, but I'll explain it tomorrow. This is all going to be one video, but I wanted to go ahead and come out here and do my update on my loft, because I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow, and I don't want to be squeezed for time. So, first, if I can point my light over here, we'll start over here. If I can get my light to turn, there we go. So, over here, we've got a blue tea-check hen paired to this. I think it really may just be a heavy ash red tea-check. I'm not positive of that though. And I mean, he's a piebald roller. So I'm gonna pull him out of the way for just a moment, so I can show you the babies. So here's baby number one. It's actually more like two. This was the younger one. And I think it's just an ash red tea-check. I don't think it's spread or anything. But this one is spread. And it's black. Obviously it got the blue genes from its mom. Now the thing about this pair is, obviously this hen does not have spread. She's a blue tea-check. And then the father, the cock, right there, which y'all just saw him, I can't figure out what he is. He seems to carry spread, but an ash red spread should be pretty much light gray. Just like the light gray of their tail. For example, I'm thinking that he might just be like this racing homer here, but with white flights. But if he was spread, he should just be that color of his gray tail there, because it's this black tail bar right here that is what spreads. He doesn't really have one, or if he does, he would say it's the same color. He's completely ignoring me right now. But I think that that's what would be spread. And you might say, well, his tail's not gray, his tail is white. That's just because it's piebald. You know, this pigeon right here has it's the same as the white feathers on its wings. You know, this one right here is baby, it's just piebald. But anyways, so the cock must carry spread, because she obviously does not. And this is their second black baby so far. So one of them carries spread, and it can't be her, so it has to be him. So I don't know anything about his genetic makeup, and it's honestly getting kind of confusing. But he's piebald and he rolls well, so you know that's the main thing. He's a Birmingham roller, so it's really just important that he rolls. If you're new to my channel and you don't know what rolling is, it means he does backflips when he flies, and it's a little more complex than that. If you don't know much about it, search Birmingham rollers. But then down here we've got this indigo bald-headed cock right here, also Birmingham roller. He's not supposed to be in there, that's not his nest box. Paired to this ash red satinette hen, which I'm not going to get out because she's sitting on eggs. Though getting her out of the way would make it a little easier to see for babies, but I'm just going to pull the babies out instead. I've got to get this door latched back. So I'll just point the light right here, and we'll look at them in this one. So here's baby number one. This is a blue tea-check. Tell you what, I'm going to sit the camera down, just like this. And I'm going to move my light, just like this. Hopefully, maybe not. Working on it. There we go. Something like that. And let's see if I can't just fold this baby out and show you. You can see right now it's spreading its tail. That's the indigo, makes it look that way. Gives it that blue, indigo color. And obviously he's still a baby, his tail's not coming all the way. And then you can see he's a blue tea-check, and you can see the black on his feathers right here, which means basically he's the same as this pigeon right here. This is a black tea-check racing homer. So he's the same pattern as that, but because of the indigo, he has that red color on his wings. And then this white right here on his wings and his head, that's just fireball. It's just another genetic thing. But the indigo is what gives him that red color, which I think looks awesome. He's coloring up real nicely. And then baby number two, right here, also has the indigo. You can see it in the tail there. It's really light color. At first I thought this might be spread, which is what he is, but it's not. I can tell now that it is ash red. And you can still see some of the indigo color, but it's not going to look an awful lot different than an ash red check, just because it's the same. It's pretty much the same color. Indigo but the indigo does change it a little bit. It's a little bit different color, and it looks nice. I like it. But because we did a sex-linked breeding, I say we, because I did a sex-linked breeding. It's mom, which is ash red, and the dad being blue. I can tell by looking at the babies. Sorry, I'm still trying to adjust my light over here. I can tell by looking at the babies that they are, the ash red one is going to be a cock and the blue one is a hen. So that's a boy and that's a girl. You can't do that with all pigeons, but in this particular case I can. And if you want to know how I did that, I have a video. I can't remember if I called it sex linkage in pigeons or sex link breeding. I think I called it sex link breeding. You can go back and look at that and I explain it in more detail. But I don't have time to explain it all right now. So then I've got this pair of racing homers here. Their babies will be on my race team. Both of them are blue checks. And to be honest, I haven't really taken a good look at their babies. And I really ought to be keeping an eye on them because one of their last babies had severely deformed leg, caused it to be very crippled, and it got to the point where it couldn't even walk or move around the nest box. And unfortunately, it had to be culled. She was feeding her babies, so we'll leave them alone for just a moment, and I'll show you in a minute. I actually have something even more exciting I want to show you all. If I can just, I'm working with my light over here. Reach out here. See if I can't bring my light over here. I don't want to unplug it from the extension cord it's plugged into outside. That would not be good. So, we'll look at these next. Hopefully. There we go. Finally got my light working a little better. So, I'm going to move their dad out of the way because all he'll do is bite me. So, first, for anyone who doesn't know, who's not a subscriber, doesn't know, their mom, which is this one right here, she is a blue grizzle. That's why she has the dark and light coloring on her feathers. And that gene expresses itself when there's only one gene, and expresses itself in making the bird much lighter when there's two. And he obviously doesn't have any grizzle. So, and obviously neither one of them are white birds, but look at their babies. And people have asked me, how do I get white babies from dark colored birds? Well, this one right here is an ash red grizzle. So that dark color on her is blue. Alright, I just realized my video had stopped recording, so I don't know if I showed y'all, but this right here is a blue grizzle. She's got the dark and the light coloring on each individual feather, but their babies actually look more like their homozygous grizzle. This is actually their blue baby, and even with it being blue, look how white it is. There's a lot of white coloration there, which is pretty cool, except that it makes it a magnet for hawks, so hopefully they do well. And then the other one is the same way, except it's ash red, so it's even lighter. So people have asked me, how do you get white babies from dark colored pigeons? Well, using Grizzle is one of the fastest and easiest ways, but it's not completely white. There's stuff that can be done about that, but then this is another roller satinet cross. That is the satinet right there, and that's the Birmingham roller. The satinet is the hen, roller is the cock. And one of these babies is just a blue T-check, and the other seems to be like an, I don't know, that one right there over there that I was showing you a minute ago that I can't figure out what's going on with him. He is the grandfather of this one. See, that is his son, and that is the son of his son. So it's his grandfather over there that I showed you a minute ago. And so its dad, I'll pull it up here and show you, is the same way. I'm really not sure what's going on there, what colors that is. But here's their babies. This one's very similar to him, and that one's a blue T-check, just like my pigeon Willie inside, who is actually their full-blooded sibling. Then over here, we have April, my younger indigo piebald roller cock, and that's actually the son of the one over there that I just showed you. Being paired to this mostly white Birmingham roller. This one is a homozygous grizzle, I believe. So same genetic makeup as those babies, but with this added gene thing going on. I don't really want to say mutation, but this added thing right here that gives them the white tail and the white wings. So unfortunately, one of their babies did die, but here is the surviving one. You can see it's going to be pretty light colored, but it's also going to have some dark on it too. You can see around the neck area, and it looks to me kind of like this one is going to be indigo, but I'm not positive. And you can really see the grizzling right there if it'll focus. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's got the dark and light streaks going through it, and it just pooped. Thankfully not on my shoe. But I'll put it back in there with Mom. And then in here I've got this. This is the brother of their dad, which is right. No, that's the dad of this one. So this one is also a grandchild to that first roller I showed you. And it's wound up just being a blue check. See if it'll stand on my hand. See, it's holding its wing out so you can kind of see. It's a pretty heavy blue check. I might even call this one a T-check. And it's got a few white flights in its wings. But that's all from the piebald effect that its dad carries, which gives him the white flights. Here's its dad right here. And it's not completely like that because its mom right here does not have white flights. She has brown flights. But she's a tiger grizzle, which means she has kind of that checkerboard effect to her. And she's recessive red. Oops, didn't mean to stick her in there with cinnamon. I'll just put her here in her nest box with her youngin. But unfortunately that didn't carry on into this baby. I'm not exactly sure how the heredity of tiger grizzling works, but I look forward to working with it. And then my blue bar, or one of my blue bars right here, paired to my black hen, also racing homers. Their babies are over here. My camera's dying, so I'm not going to go into too much detail in showing them to you, but I will pull them out real quick. Oof, they've been fed a lot. So there's the blue one, wound up being a blue bar, and then there he goes. One wound up being spread black, which I really like, and there they go. I'll stick them back under there in a moment. And then I still got this pigeon right here with a messed up wing. This one right here. Oh, you can't see. It's completely dark. I still have this pigeon right here with a messed up wing. I haven't culled it because even though it can't fly, it can still walk around and all that and have a decent quality of life. But I would like to try and figure out something else to do with it, because the breeding loft is not the best place for it. But neither is flying loft. Oh, I didn't show you these babies. I haven't really looked at them, so you're going to be seeing them for the most part for the first time with me. I mean, I've glanced at them in the nest, but I haven't really looked at them. Haven't gotten them out, so... Alright, legs look normal, so that's good. This one looks like it's going to be a bar, or even a barless. Actually, I'm not seeing any dark right there, so maybe that'll be a barless. Of course, I thought he was going to be a barless too, and you see he does have a little bit more bar, though it's not much of a bar. And then this one's going to be a check, so same as its parents. I expected them both to be blue checks, but that one's going to be either a bar or a barless, so that's cool. I always like new stuff, and we'll put... Well, I was going to put... Is that mom or dad? I have to look at them both to be able to tell. I think that's mom. And then this pair right here sitting on eggs. Those eggs are about ready to hatch. I don't remember for sure when. If I come look at my calendar over here, which y'all can't really see, but I can read it. They're supposed to hatch on the 7th. Today's the 5th, so they should hatch on Sunday. Today's Friday. And again, this will be all mashed together with my video tomorrow, which will be Saturday, May the 6th, when we go to the auction. But that's a brief overview of what's going on in here. Hopefully if my camera doesn't die, I'll show you real quick what a blue grizzle looks like when it's just heterozygous. So give me just a moment to grab her. So usually, when there's only one gene for grizzle, it should look like this. You can see there's dark and light coloring on each of the feathers. I'm trying to get it where y'all can see. That's what it should look like. See, here's a pretty little head. But for some reason, that's just not how their babies turned out. I don't completely understand it. Because she only carries one gene for grizzle. Not that she could pass along, she can only pass along one anyways, even if she was homozygous for it. She couldn't pass along 2 genes. And then the cock obviously doesn't have any grizzle. Here he is. Just an ash red T-check cock. So, I don't understand that, guys, but it's an adventure. So, and I hope y'all know that I enjoy sharing it with you. That's what I've got my YouTube channel for, but I was about to say thanks for watching and all that, but this is only halfway through my video, I guess, so we do it tomorrow, so I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Alright guys, so I'm at the auction, and we actually got here pretty late. It's over halfway over, probably about 3/4 of the way over. I'm going to try and show you a little bit what's going on. I was playing afterwards, so I don't want to interrupt. Also, I've got 3 more birds I'm really wanting to get. I don't want to lose track of what's going on, but I'll try and show y'all what's going on. $43.96. 10 honeycut right here. Blue check, white flag. 5, 10. These are all the birds. There's probably about 100 of them here. Just kind of want to show y'all what's going on. I want those 2 in this one. I'll explain after a little bit, though. I just don't want to interrupt things. Alright guys, so I'm back at the house now. Sorry. Got something hung in my throat. Yeah, still got it. Anyways, sorry I didn't do much filming at the auction. Rick had one of his, or a couple of his grandkids had a soccer game. I think it was a soccer game they were at, and they were a little late getting back to the house, and I rode with him. But then we got stuck in all kinds of traffic and behind every slow person, so they actually waited a little bit to start the auction. Started a little late, thankfully. Pretty happy about that. So I got to be there for the whole thing, but it had already pretty much was starting when we got there, and I didn't want to interrupt things. So I will show the birds I bought, and we'll talk a little bit about how the auction worked too. But first I'm going to let the birds out of the loft. Huh, well, that's interesting. There's an egg back there. Of course, Minnie is the only old hen in here, so she's the only, I'm sure she laid it. She's the only one that could have. I don't know. I mean, these white homers seem to mature very fast, but I'm willing to bet it's from her. So, even in a wire loft, sometimes that happens. But, let me get out of their way now and let the birds out. Now, this roller's probably not going to come out. Neither will Charles. That's fine. I can't quite reach it. I'll get it in a minute. I'll just probably throw it out. I mean, it's probably fertile, but obviously they're not going to be able to raise it in there. And their offspring have not been all that great. For example, Charles there, who can't fly more than like 5 feet. But so I'll just throw out that egg. But here are the birds I got. And you'll notice one isn't a homer. Right here, there's a frill in here, and satinette, oriental frill. But anyways, so I'll let y'all watch the birds flying while I talk. The way the auction worked was all these racing homers were being auctioned off, and I'm going to assume that everyone probably knows what an auction is. If not, just know that we were buying and selling birds. And these birds that were sold at this auction are all going to be entered. Well, I mean, you don't have to enter them in it, but they're to be entered in a specific race, which will be between 200 and 250 miles. Now, there's going to be a first, second, and third place winner. I mean, there will be, you know, all places, but the club is going to be donating $1,200, so $1,200 in prize money. And the first place winner gets $600. The prize is divided 50-50 between the person who flew the bird that won the race, and between the breeder, the person who's the bird originally belonged to. And then the second place is $400, so it split, it becomes $200. And then third place is $200, which split 50-50 becomes $100. So just to make it a little easier to understand, put it in perspective, if I had I took a pigeon and I sold it. I sold one of the ones from my Bill Sonder cock, mated to my blue bar hen from Rick, which I would step in there and just show y'all, but I mean, they just look like normal pigeons. But anyways, so if that pigeon, which was bought by someone, if they win the race with that pigeon, if that pigeon wins first place, then $600 will be awarded as the first place prize money, but it will be split 50-50 between him and me. He'll get $300 and I'll get $300. Or let's say one of these pigeons I bought wins the race. Let's say I know that one right there. This real dark bar with a couple white flights right here, little bird. Let's say he won. The guy that he came from, his name was Doyle, which is kind of funny because my middle name is Doyle. But Doyle, he would get $300 and I would get $300. Or if it won second place, then he would get $200 and I would get $200. So that means a couple of things. You're not just wanting, you don't want to go unload the birds you don't want at that race. You want to send some good birds, because if the bird you send wins the race, even though you're not the one flying it, you still get money for it. So that's something to think about, and that's why I sent one of my better birds genetically. Of course, the young birds are all untested. Because these birds are all completely untested, in fact, most, if not all of them, had never even been let out of the loft before. Actually, come to find out, it's not a real great thing that I sold a bird who had been out of the loft. Granted, she had only been out a few times, but it had been out, so evidently that's not a real great thing. But anyways, so they're all untested, so it's not like when you're selling old birds where someone says, hey, well, that bird, you know, it did really well last year or the year before, you know, maybe it won first or second place in such and such a race, and everybody wants that pigeon because they all know how good it is. It doesn't work that way with young birds. You don't really know for sure what you're getting. Of course, some people's pigeons have a history of doing better than others, and those are going to sell for more, but it's not going to get up into hundreds of dollars usually. Most of these right here that I bought were $10 or $15. The bidding started at $10. I actually paid $5 for that satinette. Someone had brought a satinette and decided to sell it. It was the last pigeon sold. No one else wanted it. I bought it for $5. I'm just going to give it to my brother. He likes to throw droppers up on the loft, so I'll let him throw it up on the loft for me as a dropper. But Yeah, so, y'all got to see a little bit. I showed y'all two birds in a cage there that I said I really wanted. It was a completely gray one and an ash red T-check. Not T-check, just an ash red check. The completely gray one, that was an ash red spread. So I've talked to y'all before about knowing that those rollers I had in there were not ash red spreads. That's because the ash red spreads are just that gray color, which y'all saw. Unfortunately, I did not get either one of those birds. I decided not to spend. I had enough money that I could have bought the spread, but it came before the check, and I decided I wanted the check more. So I decided not to spend the extra money on it, and I wish I had now because the check went way up out of my price range, so I wasn't able to get that one. But I'm happy with what I got, and I got 4 more race birds. I sent 1, brought home 4, so I gained 3, which is good. Some good looking birds in there. I don't know if y'all noticed in me showing you yet, but one of these pigeons right here, don't want to let any of them out, of course. This one right here, this is an indigo. I don't know if y'all noticed that. You can see it's got the checks in there, but it's ash red. Look at that wing. That's just a cool looking wing. Tail's pretty much the same way. There's kind of that light colored bar there a little bit. So not an ash red. Unfortunately, I didn't get any ash red birds, and I really would have liked to have gotten both of those. But oh well, I had about $100 to spend, and even though I don't remember exactly which birds cost which amount of money, I spent $65 in all. So I spent $60 on these 4 race birds and $5 on that frill. Just seems like something y'all might would want to know. But I guess I'm gonna get the food here for these guys. Well, no, not yet. I'm just gonna let them fly. Oh, quarantine. I should probably talk about that. These pigeons are from multiple lofts. Potentially could have been disease in the lofts which they came from, and were around a lot of other pigeons from a lot of other lofts. So there's a lot of potential for these guys to have been introduced to disease. So they're going to be quarantined. I'm not throwing them straight into my loft here. Man, this sign is looking rough. I need to pull it down. I want to fix it. I want to get it looking good again. But, I mean, that's looking rough. But anyway, so they're going to be quarantined. I'm actually just going to leave them in this box for a few days, with food and water, of course. With some animals, you will quarantine them for a month or so, but anyone watching my channel who has any kind of bird is probably very familiar with the fact that when birds get sick, they get sick fast. And you have to act very quickly in order to save the life of a sick bird. So if any of these guys have been introduced to illness, it's probably going to show up pretty quickly. So they'll probably be quarantined for less than a week, and then be put into here where they'll probably spend another week, and then I'll start trap training them. Hopefully that will coincide with my moving. If y'all can picture down here in this little nest box is where I've got that. It might even be a barless, and then that black spread baby. So hopefully they're going into the loft and being their trap training will coincide. Sorry, the video just cut out. I'm not sure how much y'all heard, but basically that little black baby and its and barless baby that I've got, which would be in the nest box about right here if y'all can picture. Hopefully their trap training will coincide with them being trap trained. Hopefully in about a week. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys, I believe. So, yep. Well, sorry I didn't get to show you all more of the auction, but thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos as I continue to update y'all on my training, race the birds this fall. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care.